All right, welcoming you to chair yoga for the care of Waldenstroms, coming to you from my new house in the woods. It's an apartment above a barn. And I have all kinds of friends here in the form of foxes, deer, and birds, and spiders, and mice, and everything you can imagine. And now I'm really, really happy to be able to welcome the IWMF friends into my home and do a practice together to really, I guess, what would you say, christen this home with your energy. So today I want to share some practices, some little yoga snacks that could be things that you take with you into the rest of your day or maybe into a stressful moment that arises. These things are easily repeatable, easily knowable and memorizable, and short. So we're going to do our whole practice, but there might be little parts of our practice today that you can latch onto, like something that really felt good for you, and you can maybe make a note to yourself. And I'll try to sort of name things as I go without it getting too heady. So let's get started right away in grounding. This is something I believe we all need. And there's never too much of this that we can get. So by grounding, I'm just going to begin by noticing my feet on the earth. And I might lift up my toes and my heels and just kind of secure my connection with the earth. And then I'm going to notice my seat in my chair, maybe wiggle around a little bit in my chair, feel that connection there. And then I might decide to lower my gaze actually down to the earth without moving my head, just lowering my gaze down. Or I could even close my eyes. Right? So I've got my feet on the earth, the seat in the chair, I've closed my eyes, and I'm just going to begin to bring my attention inward. And I might begin to notice what it feels like for me to breathe. I'm going to allow these breaths to be natural and easy. So any time you sit down to do a practice or begin a practice, you can start with grounding and centering. Feeling the feet on the earth, the seat in the chair, and just noticing the breath. And then from here, I'm going to add a breath practice we practice frequently called bee's breath that is wonderful for supporting our immune system health. And it is exactly what it sounds like, creating a little humming, droning sound like that of a bee. And we do this with the mouth closed. So I'm going to inhale through my nose, and as I exhale, I'm just going to hum. I'm breathing at my own pace. I'm humming at my own pace. I'm going to do 5 more. Just noticing where you feel the vibration in your body. Can you take 1 more, 2 more? Beautiful. Coming back to some easy breaths. I might take a big breath in actually, and then just sigh it out the mouth. Oh, I'm here. So glad to be here. And then real quick, I'm just going to take care of my eyes. I'm going to take care of removing my glasses and giving my eyes a little rest. So I'm cupping my palms over my eyes and drinking in that warmth, right? That a little bit of darkness. And I can allow my eyes to rest and lubricate them by rolling them around. So we've done 3 things so far, right? We've done some grounding and centering. We've done some bees breath, and we've done what's called palming. A great way to transition throughout the day. Blinking the eyes open, very slowly bringing some light back in. And then if you wanted to explore a little self-massage, that's become a pretty integral part of our practice as a means by which to, number 1, feel the sense of touch. This is a sense that those of us who are pretty strict about our isolating, right, might not experience a whole lot of. I'm not going out and hugging people in the grocery store. Not that I ever normally do that. Right? And also, it is a way to move energy, a way to move lymph fluid. All right, and then if you're also experiencing tension in the shoulders or the neck, self-massage can be a way to release that. So some good reasons why this is a practice we can endeavor to do together. All right, and then I'm coming back to my seated posture. I'm going to put my glasses back on, and we'll practice some head and neck movements that are designed to support the release of tension. And they also use sound, which of course, if you know me by now, you know I love to incorporate sound into our classes as much as I can. And we're going to have a sound meditation on Friday. So I got my whole hour or 45 minutes to just make sound. But this is the sound you make. So let's give it a whirl. I'm going to bring my chin over to the right. As I exhale to center, I'm going to make a sound. Ooh. As I inhale, chin will come to the left. Exhaling back to center. Ah. Inhaling, looking up a little bit. Exhaling back to center. E. Nice and slow. Inhale, tucking the chin down. Coming back up to center with an just like we did in bees breath. So taking a couple easy breaths here between repetitions of what's called Brahma Mudra. So Brahma Mudra is just moving the head and accompanying that head movement with seed syllables. Let's give it a try again. So breathing into the right, back to center. Ooh. You could even close your eyes. Breathing into the left, back to center with an ah. Inhaling, lifting just a little bit, back to center. E. Inhaling, tucking the chin down. Back to center, nice and slow. We'll do one more round. Take a couple breaths in between rounds. Just notice any effects of this practice. Yeah, I love it. You could even do a little shoulder shrug between sets of Brahma Mudra. One thing I love about this practice is it reminds me to just always come back to center, which is something we get scattered. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. I'm always coming back to center. So one more time, breathing to the right, chin to the right. Exhaling to center with an ooh. Doesn't have to sound good. Inhaling to the left. Inhaling, lifting. E. Very good. Last one. Inhaling, tucking chin down. Back to center. So there's another little snack for you. You can do a little wellness snack to just get centered and release tension from the neck. Let's give some bigger movements now. So I'm going to bring my arms at my sides and inhale them up as far as feels good to me. It could be all the way up and out and down. So I'm just exploring creating this sphere of self-care around me, kind of setting a little boundary around my time and my space. This is my self-care space. And if you're feeling like you have excess energy you need to release today, you could do this in a standing pose if you're not already. Right? So always an option to stand or sit, or you could literally lie there and just breathe, which I have seen some of you do, and for that you get gold stars. Breathing in, arms rise. Breathing out, arms down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. It's your own pace. You got it. And last one. All right, and then I'll stretch just my right arm out to the right, and I'll bring a lot of space between the fingers, as much as I can. And I'm just going to make a fist around my thumb and drop the knuckles down. Big stretch for my wrist. Breathing in, palm is open and widening fingers. Breathing out, knuckles dropping down. You got it. And one more of those. Right, just do what feels best to you. And then I'm going to release and switch sides. You got it, Lois. Left arm out to the left, lots of space between my fingers. And then I'm going to curl my knuckles, or curl my fist around my thumb and drop my knuckles down. Breathing in. You've got it. Breathing out. Doesn't have to be exactly what I'm doing. Last one. And release it down. That's good. And then I'm going to bring my arms down, grab onto my chair, or even interlace my fingers behind my back. And I'm going to lift my heart, squeeze my shoulder blades together. I could keep my chin level with the earth, especially if I experience vertigo or any challenges in my neck. Or I could lift my chin up. Good. And then I'm coming back to a neutral stance here, and I'm going to stretch my right arm out again. Tilting my left ear to my left shoulder. What's that left shoulder doing? Maybe that left shoulder could soften. And I'm just going to circle my palm. Little circles. I'm breathing. That palm is moving downward. A little bit at a time. So it's just my ear tilting, not my whole body. And then I'll bring my arm maybe on my hip or behind my back, whatever feels better. And spinning my chin down, I'm taking a couple of easy breaths. Giving myself permission to be here in whatever state of being I'm in. Could be a total hot mess today. That would be fine. And then we'll come out of that and just notice the difference between your sides. All right, let's try the other side. So left arm to the left, tilting my right ear to my right shoulder, circling my palm. And letting that palm lower little by little until I feel ready to tuck the arm behind the back. Or maybe rest the hand on the hip if that feels too extreme. Tilting my chin down, so I'm peeking at my right shoulder. Maybe you can feel a stretch here in the left shoulder and neck area. We're taking a couple breaths. letting myself be here. Good. And then we'll come on back to center. And maybe you have a sip of something nearby. Read my mind, Jane. Taking a sip, and then we'll get ready for some larger movements here. So take a nice wide stance. So I'm going to bring my feet out to the sides. Feet are on the earth. I'm at the edge of my chair, so I'm really using my core to sit up tall. Now, if for whatever reason, you're having trouble sitting up away from the back of the chair and you need that support, of course, you can use that. So I'm going to take a moment to just rub my belly. Some of us said we already had our lunch. I don't know what time it is for you. Everywhere it might not be lunchtime for you yet, or it might have just been dinner time. But in any case, this is a motion we can bring into our everyday as a way to support digestion and a way to move the lymph fluid. And it doesn't require that we really press hard. And we're going to be doing a meditation at the end of our session today that's kind of all about the belly. And Susan W., I think you'll recognize it. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and just bring my hands onto my lap here and take a circle with my whole body. Whole body circles. Can I inhale for half the circle and exhale for the other half? And I might come back in the other direction. All right, and then we're meeting in the center here, meeting in the center. And I'm going to lift my right arm up and over, right? Or rest my right hand on my right rib cage. My goal here is just to stretch the side of my body. So however you want to do that. Stretching the right side of my body. Maybe the hand is on the hip, maybe the hand lifts up. Good, and then I'm going to switch sides. Left arm lifting up and over or resting on the hip or rib cage. Stretching the left side body. I might feel like I want to flow a little bit, flowing between sides, or I might like to stay, holding the stretch longer. So it's totally up to you. Good. And then the next time I come back to center, I'm going to give myself a hug, tuck my chin, take a couple of easy breaths here. And then releasing. Let's go ahead and grab onto the chair and walk the feet in and out. Walking the feet in and out, just touching down with my forefoot or my tiptoe, tiptoeing in and out. Lubricating the hip joints and strengthening my core. This could be really easy for you. That's okay. Sometimes the simpler something is, the better it is. All right, now I'm going to add a little layer, see if I can confuse myself. So I'm going to walk both feet back in, and I'm going to bring my arms out to the sides. And I'm going to play around with opposites here. So swinging the arms in front of me. I'm going to see if I could walk out, opposite arm, opposite leg. Opposite arm, opposite leg, and then walk in the opposites. Walking them out and walking them in. My core is stable and strong. My gaze could be lowered to the earth, especially if I get scattered easily. And I'm breathing. Great exercise for coordination. right? For forming new neural pathways in the brain. If it's been a little while since you've done this, and this is really hard, it's good. We're creating new neural pathways, as I said. So this could be another little snack you do. Opposite out, opposite in. Oh my gosh. Now I'm going to do both out, all in. Oh my goodness. And give yourself a hug, opposite arm on top. Just making sure we're not taking ourselves too seriously. Okay, friends. So if there are any other seated movements you'd like to make, you could do those now. Maybe you want to do some pelvic tilts, or maybe you got a shoulder roll, just giving it a little period where you can decide what feels good to you before we come to stand. Now that's an option, and you do not have to stand. But as I come to stand, I'm giving myself the reminder to go slow, that I'm never in a hurry. And I'm going to come to stand at my own pace, if that's what I've chosen to do today, and maybe taking a sip or two of water. Got you. All right. I saw your note, Allison, and just wanted to make sure you knew I saw your note. So getting set up to do a little bit of standing movement. Now, if you are somebody who has challenges in your standing joints today, you will always have the option to sit down at any time. All right, I love it. Carol, the warrior within, is within you today. So I'm going to notice my feet on the earth. Just like we did when we first started, I'm going to do a little grounding practice. So here's a snack for you. Notice the feet on the earth, and you might lift the toes up and spread them wide and dig them back down. Just that is a grounding practice, working with the feet. And I think I'm focusing on grounding a little bit for myself, because I feel that being in this new home, I mean, I've been here for a month, but it's all about home for me right now. And grounding reminds me of that. Okay, and then after you do a few rounds of the toe widening out, just little toe spreads and digs, you could stand, holding onto the chair if you need it. And I'm going to invite you, optionally, to close the eyes. If you don't feel safe closing the eyes, keep them open. But I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm just going to send some roots down from my feet into the earth. I could take a breath in, draw up some nourishment from the roots. Take a breath out, send the roots out a little deeper, a little wider. We're breathing in, drawing nourishment up, sending that support out to some others in our group, right? Imagining our root systems are interwoven. So we're not alone here. As we do the rest of our practice here, we'll be anchored by that support network, that root network. So if you had your eyes closed, you could open them. And I'm going to come up onto my tiptoes, just explore how this feels. Coming up onto the tiptoes, or just practicing that grounding technique with the toes, or practicing your root network technique, which is just purely mental. Coming up onto my tiptoes, relaxing down. Right? And if you want to do this with just one leg, you could literally just bend one knee and massage the bottom of one foot. So that's an option as well. Calf raises. Definitely add this to your list of snacks, especially if you have peripheral neuropathy or you're working on improving your balance. So you notice I've been holding onto my chair, but now I'm going to fly, and I'm going to take 3 tiptoe floats, spreading my wings. Only do this if you feel safe. And last one, I'm going to float down really slowly. And then I might just walk in place for a moment. Get all of the whole body moving, right? It could be a tiny little walk. You might be a big stride today. Like, I don't know if I can keep up with you, Jane. I bet you're a fast walker. All right, so I'm just walking in place. I could do this seated. I want to get the blood flowing a little bit. I want to, especially for those of us who have low blood pressure, it's good to kind of get the blood moving. And then for those of us with high blood pressure, I'll give you some cues in a moment. Okay, so I'm turning towards my chair here, and I'm going to sink down into my knees and bring my hips back, right? It's maybe just a tiny, tiny one for you, Carol. We're not doing too much of this. Pulling my belly towards my spine and turning on my glute muscles. How do I turn on my glute muscles here? I think if I isometrically push my feet apart, that helps me, and I can feel how strong I really am. So this might be where you stay, or you might want to reach one arm or both arms forward. So this is our chair pose. That's good, Susans. Maybe the palms face each other. You got it. Taking one more breath, feeling so strong here. And then we'll slowly come up and take a stretch, walking the feet back. And coming into our version of a downward facing dog today. And you could keep your head lifted if you have glaucoma or vertigo. Ideally, I like to feel a little stretch at the back of my legs. Maybe some length in my spine. And then I'm going to just explore coming up slowly and stepping the right foot forward, bringing the left foot back at an angle for my warrior one. My torso's upright. I'm squeezing my left glute muscle. And I could keep my hands on the chair if I need it. I could keep my hands at heart center if I'm caring for high blood pressure. Right? Maybe I'd like to lift one or both arms. Right? If I'm feeling like I need a little lift. Finding my breath. That's awesome, guys. Such strong warriors today. One more breath. And then let's come out of it. I'm going to shorten my stance. Both legs are straight. Take a bow. Maybe the forearms rest on the chair. Maybe there's another way you like to do this posture. Wherever you are, pull the belly towards the spine. Protect that low back. It's beautiful, Betty Ann. Finding the breath. One more breath. And coming up nice and slow. Stepping that left foot forward. The right foot back at an angle. Sinking into that left knee. So I'm squeezing my right glute muscle. My torso's upright. And I've got choices about what I want to do with my hands. They could stay where they are on the chair. They could come to heart center. They could lift overhead if you feel safe doing that. Big breaths here. From the root to the crown. You've got it, Catherine. All right. And then slowly coming out of it and shortening your stance. Both legs are straight. I'm tipping my heart forward and coming into this posture where I tend to jut my chin forward, and I'm somebody with neck issues, so I really have to mind that. I'm going to tuck my chin so I have a nice lengthened back of my neck. One more breath here, and then we're traveling up. And maybe taking that sip of water if you need it. Great job today, guys. All right, so Somebody here was talking about sciatica and piriformis, and there is a stretch that we do at the end of every class. We're going to do that. But before we get there, let's do one balance pose. So one balance pose. And today I think I'll just make that flamingo pose, so just standing on one leg. Now if you're experiencing issues in the standing joints, such as the knee or the hip, you can skip it, or you can stay a little bit less in that pose. So I'm going to start with a little bendy bounce of both knees, and then I'll bring my weight over to my right foot, pick up my left heel, hug it in, and see if you could disperse the effort by using the glute muscle, by using the core muscles. And maybe I'm not ready to take my training wheels off and I need to hold on to that chair. That's fine. Or maybe I'm working towards actually trying to find, well, where do I fall? I mean, not fall, but where is my edge of balance? I could close one eye or both eyes and see what happens. So just standing on one leg. This, my friends, is also an everyday. 1 minute per side per day to stay independent. Good, you've got it. And maybe you're teetering and tottering the whole time. That's fine. I'm going to kick out that right leg. Good for you, Carol. And try the other side, little bendy bounce. Weight will come over to the left side, picking up the right heel, hugging it in, zipping up my core, using my glute muscles. And again, I'm reminding myself that I do have a root network here, and I can feel that support, that anchoring. Maybe you stay a little less on this side if you have joint issues on this side. Really nice, guys. Come on out of it, kick it out, walk it out. And then we'll take a nice wide stance, do a couple little hip circles and another set of side bends, and we'll be concluding our standing portion. Side bends are something that, this is a motion we don't really make very much in our day-to-day. So this is something I add to a daily routine. And make sure that, especially if I'm recovering from infection or I've been coughing a lot, I stretch those little muscles between my ribs, try to keep the connective tissue from becoming inelastic. And maybe one more on each side. All right, and then I'm opening my arms out to the sides, and I'm going to take a little tiny twist to either side. I could soften my knees here. My hips and my knees can be free to move, right? So I'm twisting, and then I might want to shorten my stance a little more and let my whole body move in whatever way it's meant to, right? I might want to channel my windsock person. Sometimes my windsock person comes out because I'm feeling a little silly. And I'm just letting myself flow freely, not take myself too seriously. And maybe there's one or two more things you want to do standing. I'm going to get ready to come to my seated posture. So perhaps at this point of our session, you want to put back a layer, put on your socks if you've had your shoes off, your socks off, and come to sit nice and slow. All right, so we're going to send all of our good wishes to the person with sciatica and piriformis right now. So let's cross our right ankle over our left knee and modify this as needed. While you're here, you might want to massage that right foot. And some of you have shared with me this is something you do already, and I love hearing about that. This has made it into your everyday. A little foot massage. There's lots of research out there for the benefits of massage, and in particular as it applies to peripheral neuropathy. So we're going to hopefully have a guest coming soon to teach us more about that. So from here, I might lean a little farther forward. Right? I've stopped my little massage and I'm relaxing my shoulders. I'm trying not to hunch forward, especially if I have osteoporosis. So I'm trying to keep my spine in its natural shape. So I'm not rounding, I'm not twisting. I do have the natural curves in my spine, so it's false for me to say straight back because it won't ever be straight. And then I'm coming up out of this nice and slow and just putting my right knee on top of the other. So knees are nestling, taking a twist to the right, using a little bit of my core strength here. And some of you have asked, is it safe for me to twist with osteoporosis? And I am going to share a very long-winded answer on that during our webinar later this month. So if it weren't safe, obviously we wouldn't be doing it in this class. But I want to share a little bit more behind that reason. So come on back to center. Of course, you've got to make your own determination for yourself, and you've got to talk to your doctor. Everybody is a different person, so I don't know exactly what you have going on in your spine. Go ahead and take the other side. Left ankle over the right knee. I'm massaging the bottom of my foot. Coming into the end of our practice here, feeling like we moved the body enough to move the energy as well. And I'm just going to grab on to what's available, maybe lean forward a little bit more, soften the shoulders, soften the jaw. Close the eyes, tuck the chin. Find a couple easy breaths here. That's good, Carol. When you're ready to come out of it, sitting up tall, crossing the knee over, coming into a little mini twist on the other side. So using those core muscles is key, and then also making sure that I'm sitting up tall is key for these twists and staying safe with osteoporosis. So if I were in a rounded posture and I were twisting, that would not be what I wanted to do. And slowly coming back to center, taking one more big stretch or any other motions the body's asking for. Maybe you want to take a sip of water. Maybe you want to take a moment to get really comfortable. I want to close our practice today with a meditation. It's called soft belly meditation. So let's go ahead and find a way to sit that feels comfortable, or recline even if that's what's in your cards today. Wherever you are, notice the parts of you that are touching the earth, that are touching the floor or the chair or the seat or even the bed. All right, and then I'm going to close my eyes or soften my gaze. And this is a great meditation, especially for those of us who have busy minds. Nothing wrong with having a busy mind, but this will help kind of lasso my busy mind. So I'm noticing my posture. I'm in my chair. Or I'm on my bed, wherever I am. I've got my attention now on the breath. I'm breathing in and breathing out in a comfortable cycle. I'm noticing the breath coming in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. If you're especially stressed, breathing out through the mouth could be useful. But you can try it either way. So I've just attended to my breath a little bit here. And then I'm going to give myself an additional cue, and that is to bring my mind to my belly. So as I breathe in, I'm asking my belly to be soft. As I breathe out, also soft. Breathing in, soft. Breathing out, belly. So we're letting go of any effort in the belly. And why we're doing this is so that we can get a deeper, fuller breath, so that the diaphragm has a place to go. I'm not going to force trying to push my belly out or distend my abdomen in any way. I'm just going to let go of holding. So as I breathe in, soft. As I breathe out, belly. You could say these words internally to yourself. Breathing in, soft. Breathing out, belly. Trying this on your own for the next little while. Maybe for 2 more breaths. And if I'm feeling really comfortable and relaxed, I could stay where I am a little longer. If I'm ready to begin to come back from my soft belly meditation, I could do so really gradually. I could do another round of palming, covering the eyes. Right, if I'm reclining, I'll come to sit slowly. I'm not in any hurry. Just savoring a little bit more of this stillness and this connection. And then when you're ready, if it's in your practice, you could bring your hands together at heart center, right? Widening out, externalizing your awareness and widening it out to include everyone in our Waldenstrom's community. That's an international community. And we can breathe in and draw up nourishment. And we can breathe out and send out nourishment and support to one another. And maybe there's somebody who really needs support right now. We could send that your way. Closing our class with the sound of 1 Om and 3 Shantis. You could listen, you could join in. Breathing in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thanking you so much for your practice today, my friends. Namaste. Hope to see you this Friday for a relaxing sound meditation. And then next week, we have 2 chair yogas. One is going to be on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time as usual. And the next one is going to be on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Now, I know some of you on the West Coast will be like, not happening for me. But I really am trying to attract some more international attendance. So the 9 a.m. class, I'm hoping we'll get some folks who are not able to join us because of their schedules, being in Europe, etc. So thank you so much, friends, and we'll be seeing you soon.